Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Full Moon Fridays.
Somber cast.
On the Outpost Unknown YouTube channel. My name is Matthew. I'm joined once again by Steve.
Yep, still here for some reason.
And the source of all the somberness that continues in this cast and all subsequent casts for the rest of our lives, because Charles Band will never stop making movies and will never catch up, is Borp.
I mean, at some point he's gonna die.
Will he, though? Will he?
Well,
I don't know.
The Full Moon Empire will continue even after he dies. So
That's true. His wife is probably going to keep it going, Steve.
Ugh.
Do you think there's like a whole bunch of like Charles Band has just recorded himself doing a million different weird quote unquote scenes throughout the years, and then after he dies, they're just going to start inserting Charles Band footage into new Full Moon movies to sort of keep it going?
Like footage of himself, or he's just filming like random B-roll to carry like the stock footage trope onward.
Stock footage trope. And I just thought of this. What if he has recorded like 500 little videos of him announcing brand new movies that are going to come out? Like, GingerDead Man 18, blah, blah, blah. And then when he dies, they don't tell anybody he's dead. And it's like he lives forever because he just keeps popping up on social media announcing new movies. Like, hey, dudes, we got GingerDead Man 19. Can't wait for Full Moon Fridays to cover that one. And we just never, ever find out that he's dead. He just lives eternally.
This sounds like this requires much more effort than just having like a Charles Band AI.
I was just gonna say we're gonna get like a Charles Band chatbot.
Interesting. Okay. Well, what are we watching? We're talking about GingerDead Man 3, Saturday Night Cleaver. We are continuing our journey through the GingerDead Man franchise until we can, we got to know the lore. We got to know the backstory in order to make sure GingerDead Man versus Evil Bong makes sense to us. We went through the first two GingerDead Man movies. Borp, what were your thoughts on that? Just give me like a one-sentence thought on those first two GingerDead Man movies.
Really terrible. Really, 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 really terrible.
Okay, can you say it in Swedish?
Urusla. Riktigt, riktigt urusla.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That sounds so. What you just said is way cooler than anything we've seen in any of these movies. Steve, your thoughts so far on the GingerDead Man franchise?
Just boring. There's just nothing in these movies. So incredibly boring.
Yeah.
I think you and me, Matt, at least thought the second one was a little bit better.
I don't even remember the second
one.
Yeah,
Matt's already forgotten.
I'll take your word for it.
It was the one they were shooting a movie within the movie.
Oh, yes, the movie within the movie. Yeah. I should also point out that we watched these GingerDead movies quite a while ago. So when Steve tries to remember everything that happened in GingerDead Man 3, Saturday Night Cleaver, it's going to be real interesting to see how much his brain has punished him by retaining the information, because we know it's like a steel trap in there and his brain never lets anything go. Borp, you and I have the beauty of worm brains, brain worms that just take the Langoliers of the mind that just take away all of this bad stuff that we remember. And so, yeah, I think these movies suck. I think they're really, really bad. And I went into Borp, when you're about ready to fire up GingerDead Man 3 Saturday Night Cleaver, was there a moment of hesitation there where you got your remote control and you're about to hit play and you're like, I don't need to do this? Dude, or were you like, no, I'm doing it?
No, dude, that happens every time with one of these movies. I'm like, oh God, like pressing play is like in some ways, the biggest hurdle. I mean, sitting there watching it and paying attention is also quite a hurdle. But like getting to the point where I'm like, oh, well, I guess I should watch this today. Because I usually watch it like one Saturday and then one Sunday when we record. And every Saturday, it's like I could just wait. I could just do two of them at the same time. But I never do that because that's insane. I don't want to sit through 3 hours of these.
Steve, do you think that it's possible that Charles Band has it's a big test, right? He's like, look, I'm making these movies, and at some point, I'm going to teach people to be better people, where they will, before they hit that play button, they're gonna think about it, and I'm gonna get them to the point where they're just gonna say, nope, I'm not gonna do it, and he's improving humanity because of it. Is that possible?
No, of all the things you've ever suggested, that's the most impossible. He's doing this because idiots. We are at least watching it for free. There are people that pay him money to see these movies.
Yeah, I mean, he probably makes a nickel off Tubi when we watch these there.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably makes a
They're getting
nickel.
that from Tubi. Like, I am not PayPaling Charles Band a nickel, nor will I ever.
Is there any sort of, because his, I gotta imagine that the most of his business model is just hawking his wares to people like our friends, right, who just buy all of this shit no matter what he puts out. Do you think like there's any type of toy, because you're a big toy guy, is there any toy that he could possibly make, like a high quality something that you'd be like, you know what, I'd want that, I'd want this blade, and I would give Charles Band $100 for this toy? Or do you think it's like, no, man, you've burned me so much, I will never drop a dime on anything you ever create this
Well,
for?
no, if he makes like really cool Puppet Master toys, yeah, I would absolutely buy those. But it's like I would have a limit. Like I will give you like $30 for this really cool blade. I will never give him $100 for anything.
Okay. All right, fair enough. I mean, I was trying to delay this as long as I could with questions. Steve, let's see how much memory is in that brain of yours. Take us through Gingerdead Man 3, Saturday Night Cleaver.
Well, before I do that, look at your Zencasters and make sure are you seeing audio levels for yourselves?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am.
All right, good, because it's only showing my audio levels for me.
Okay.
But as long as you guys are seeing it, because I guarantee you, I'm not re-recording this if something goes wrong. This will just be the fucking end of Full Moon Fridays.
Please, Zencaster, break. Please break. How do I Magneto this somehow? Please.
Sir, in hearing that, Zencastr has never been stronger.
I need all my powers of my electromagnetic powers are going into Zencaster right now. So we'll see if we make it through.
Sneeze on your keyboard or something.
I'm trying. I'm shaking my laptop right now, so I don't know. But
all right, so Gingerdead Man 3. This movie has just they're already out of ideas, so they're just parodying other films. So the opening of the movie is a Silence of the Lambs parody. There's a woman like dressed like Clarice going in, and she's going to like the insane asylum for like evil baked goods. 'Cause apparently Gingerdead Man's not the only one. But it's exactly what you'd expect from a Silence of the Lambs parody. Like, I don't, some sort of baked thing tells her like, "I can smell your muffin" or something like that.
Well, one of it like squirts frosting all over her or something when it's like jacking off.
Which is a theme in this series. Like, are there any Gingerdead Man movies where he doesn't jerk off?
No.
I don't think so. I think
well, that's a good point.
I think someone was really like committed to that bit, because I feel like it happens in every movie. Anyways, she goes she finds Gingerdead Man, and she's like, I'm with the FBI. I want to interview you. But it turns out the whole thing's a scam. Like at the end of part 2, there was a homeless man that ate the Gingerdead Man and got possessed by him. And apparently in part 3, like that homeless man has now died. And so she wants to get revenge for her homeless brother by killing the Gingerdead Man. Unfortunately, like some animal activists break in. Like apparently they think that this asylum is actually conducting animal experiments as opposed to housing evil baked goods. So they break in and free everyone. And the Gingerdead Man just runs down the hallway and like sees a door that says like time travel experiment or something. He's like, "Oh, this will be neat." And so the Gingerdead Man runs into like he grabs a remote control that opens like a wormhole through time, and so he goes back to the 1970s.
I
thoughts so far?
That's the worst. Oh my god, I hated this opening. To be fair, I think this is the worst part of the movie. It was just they got the worst part out of the way immediately. The wig, it's the worst wig I've ever seen in my entire life on that the person who plays Khalees.
Yeah, it's
It's
pretty
like
awful.
it's like barely on her head. Um, Nothing. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why are these animal activists, rights activists, breaking into like prison, and then they see a bunch of baked goods, and they're like, "Oh, it's fucked up what they're doing to the gingerbread man." Like, nothing makes sense.
No, I mean, they think they're all like monkeys or something. Like they don't
Yeah.
even. I don't even know that they recognize that this is like a living, breathing gingerbread man and a fucking evil slice of cake off in the corner.
Oh. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yep.
It's real bad.
All right,
I got
continuing
nothing
on.
else to say.
So the gingerbread man randomly goes back to the 1970s where he's like in a skating rink, like a roller disco or something, and now we have a Carrie parody, because there's like we have like multiple plot lines that get brought up here. One is there's an older lady named Trixie that owns this place, and she owes too many taxes, so it's going to close down the next day. She's got a niece who is again a Carrie knockoff, and Carrie is this kind of like awkward, unpopular girl. But there's going to be like a roller derby beauty pageant, and she's convinced to participate in it. And so like the mean girls are going to dump a bucket of blood on her head, but then also like Trixie doesn't want her to be involved with roller skating because Trixie had like a terrible roller skating experience back during fucking Pearl Harbor. She was so good at roller skating that she distracted all of the soldiers that were killed during the Pearl Harbor attack, and she blames herself because she thinks if she hadn't been there, if she hadn't been roller skating, all of those soldier boys that were so distracted by her skating could have put up like an actual like defense to repel the attack. And
I don't
also,
even remember that. Is that a thing that happened in this movie?
Yeah.
yes.
It gets revealed a little later on, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's,
I have no recollection of that.
I'm just dumping all the plots here now
Yeah,
so that
yeah,
I don't
okay.
forget them later. Yeah,
Okay.
so she and then the gingerbread man shows up, and I don't necessarily know why this time period. But he's got like the time remote that's not working, so he just throws it down and he's like, "Oh fuck it, I'm gonna go kill a bunch of people." And then two kids find the time remote and it works for them for some reason, and so they disappear. So the kids are going on an unseen adventure through time, and they'll come back later. So now the gingerbread man, that he's stuck in the 1970s, and he's like, "Well, shit, I got nothing else to do. I might as well just kill everyone." And so there's just a sequence of absurd kill scenes that happen for no particular reason other than the gingerbread man is bored. There are three ladies who decide, well, we're gonna start a car wash to raise money to help Trixie, pay off her tax debt to keep the roller derby going. And so they're outside. They've got water hoses. They're spraying each other. They're giggling, and then he unhooks the hose and hooks it up to a vat of like sulfuric acid that just happened to be there. And so they spray each other with the hoses, and they all melt and die. Um, there's two other characters that get really fucking high and go off to bang, and like the janitor shows up, and they're like, "Yeah, come on, let's have a threesome with the janitor." And then the gingerbread man just shoots them.
Yep.
It just shoots them like that. That's it. Nothing interesting. He just shoots them.
Oh, he watches them have sex for a while as well. Classy stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of that, there's a woman that he spies on in the bathroom where he's got a glory hole set up, and he's yelling at this woman, "Yeah, come on and suck it," and she rips it off and eats it.
Okay. I'll tell you a funny story. So I'm watching this downstairs right before this sequence, and who walks in? It's Alyssa. She walks in to tell me something just as the Gingerdead Man is sticking his, I guess, baked dick through the glory hole, telling this woman to suck him off. And the look on her face that she gave me, I felt shame. Like, I felt true shame as to what am I doing with my life, fellas? Like,
I feel like we said this in a previous episode. It would be easier
yes,
to switch to porn and explain that.
exactly. She just had this look on her face, like, what are you doing? I'm just like, Charles Band, man. Charles Band.
I'm pretty sure when he kills the people having the threesome, he jerks off. Then, like that's
Yes.
the jerk off scene in this
Yep.
movie. We can't forget that.
No. Gotta have Gingerdead Man's signature.
Gotta have it. Yeah,
Yeah.
spanking the gingerbread monkey.
Yep.
So I don't think he kills her, or at least not in this scene. Like, she survives after having eaten the ginger dick. There's a DJ that is just snorting just ridiculous amounts of cocaine, but he takes away her coke and replaces it with like some like bathroom cleaning powder, which causes her face to melt. But now, I mean, I'm going through all the scenes because there's no story here. It's just a sequence of events that leads up to the end. So now we're at the end. Gingerdead Man has killed a bunch of people. All of the competing storylines have come out. Like, Trixie is revealed to Carrie like why she doesn't like roller skating anymore, and blah blah blah. I contributed to Pearl Harbor, and now it's the time for the big the big like roller derby beauty pageant contest, and Carrie wins, but the mean girl has she set up a bucket of blood, but then the gingerdead man sabotages it, so it falls on the mean girl. So Gingerdead Man has some morals. He cannot handle a bully, so he rights that wrong and dumps the blood on the mean girl. But then I think he kills her with like a meat cleaver or something. So now, then he just pulls out a gun and just starts shooting people. Like, there's nothing interesting about the vast majority of the kills in this. So he pulls out a gun and kills like everyone except like the Carrie knockoff and her love interest and Trixie. And then Carrie knockoff. She has telekinetic powers that up to now she's not really used for anything, but she like drops the disco ball or something on the Gingerdead Man. I think anyone who is left alive at this point gets electrocuted. So she has a higher kill count, arguably, than Gingerdead Man at this point.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, so it's just after the electrocution, now it's just like Trixie and Carrie's boyfriend and Gingerdead Man, and he's about to kill them. But now here come the little kids who found the time remote earlier. They come back from their magical time adventure, and who do they have with them? Fucking Hitler. They've got Hitler and Charles Manson and Jeffrey Dahmer and Lizzie Borden and like the Clarice knockoff from Silence of the Lambs. And then they just they kill the Gingerdead Man. I think they rip them apart and eat them, and then they all go back to the time portal. And then the kids are like, "Oh, by the way, Trixie, here's tomorrow's winning lottery numbers, so you can win the lottery and pay off your tax bill." And also, we went back in time and we told Clarice that the Gingerdead Man was going to escape. So now we've created a time paradox. None of this actually happens. So all of the dead bodies in the background just get up. Everyone's alive again. And then Trixie's like, well, there's one more loose end for me to tie up. I'm going to go back and fix Pearl Harbor. And so she goes back in time, and that's the end of the goddamn movie. What in the fucking fuck?
The most exciting part of watching this movie for me was that I was watching at the same time as Matt, but Matt was like 30 minutes ahead of me. So like 40 minutes in, I just get a Discord notification from Matt. Hitler just popped up. Like, what?
What? I was like, no. This is all. I mean, I don't even have the words to describe how bad this movie is. It's just, I think the biggest indictment on all these movies is that, and we've said this before, it feels like a broken record at this point. It feels like there's no passion, no love, no care that's put into any of these things. It's just we're going to throw a bunch of shit together to try to get it out for people to buy. You raise enough money to make our next movie or whatever it is. And you can tell like when someone makes like a low budget movie and it's not great, you can tell when they've really tried and they just didn't have whatever they needed to be able to elevate it, but the passion still comes through. You can still be like, that's why horror fans love low budget horror movies so much and they're willing to forgive so much trash, is because you can see people really tried. They didn't have the skill set or they didn't have the resources, whatever it may be.
Or alternatively, you can watch a movie and be like, this fucking sucks, but I bet it was really fun to make.
Yeah. None of that feels like it comes through in these movies. It just feels like nothing. It feels like just sort of there's an assembly line that Charles Band's like, okay, we have this location for 2 days and we're gonna make an entire feature length film out of it, and boom, so I can get it out next month. We're gonna edit as fast as possible. He's like the Dustin Ferguson of like higher
Oh
tier,
no.
like the next like budget up. He's that. He's Dustin Ferguson. That's what he is.
No one listening to this right now understands any part of that.
Dustin Ferguson has like 10 million IMDb credits because he makes a movie every like 6 days. That's what it feels like. And when you watch those movies, it feels like there's no care put into them at all, because there isn't. And that's what this feels like. There was a time when Charles Band would actually attempt to make decent movies. He would have a budget for movies. Why put out 50 movies with $2,000 budget each in a year? Just save up that $100,000 and try to put out a cool ass movie for the Full Moon fans. Like, why are we doing this bullshit?
Which
It's
is
embarrassing.
funny because that was the meta commentary on Gingerdead Man 2, and
Yeah,
clearly none of that was
Right.
taken to heart here.
and they still did it. I mean, it's like, haha, look at us, aren't we funny? It's like, you're not funny. Like, these movies aren't funny. They aren't interesting. So there's no cool kills. The Gingerdead Man as a character, like there was something there with Gary Busey. If they could have afforded Gary Busey for more than a day and a half, there could have been something there. But they just, this is an awful character. I don't like this character, and I have another fucking movie to watch with this character. So
I think
hate
we're
it.
done that with Gingerdead Man for the next movie, right? Like,
I'm
did you?
talking about, yeah, Evil Bong
Yeah.
or Ginger Man
Oh yeah.
versus Evil Bong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope
I
so.
I thought this was like C tier scary movie stuff, and the scary movies aren't even good. So like, there's something about like the way, I think this one in particular like tries to parody a lot of like really famous horror movies, but
Yeah.
and then they do that and the love doesn't shine through. It kind of feels offensive in some way, where it's like I I don't know, like it's just painfully unfunny. This entire, like, I don't know if I laugh once, and it's so clearly like I don't know. It has this tone where it kind of feels like the filmmakers, the Evil Bong movies have this as well, where like it feels like the filmmakers they think this is hilarious. They're like really indulging in all the
Do
gags.
they though? Do they think
I
it's hilarious? Because it doesn't feel like they're putting any time, energy, effort into actually trying to make stuff funny. It's just, okay, hey, if we make the Ginger Dead Man jack off for 2 minutes, that's funny, right? People will laugh at that. I mean, that's like the lowest hanging fruit when it comes to like comedy stuff. And they do the same gags over and over and over from movie to movie. It doesn't feel like they actually think this shit's funny, but maybe they do. I don't know.
This feels like watching a stand-up comedian bomb for hours on end.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good statement.
I
And I
have
think
no other statements about this movie. This is
I
fucking trash garbage.
I think it's a great statement to end on, Steve. Borb, do you have any insightful statement that can top that?
Not really. I mean, if you like the one, I'll try to say something positive here.
Oh my God.
The one thing about Gingerdead Man 2 and 3 that I like kind of keep coming back to in my head when comparing it to all the other shit we've been watching for this show is like, at least there's like kind of a plot to these two. At least there's like kind of a setup. Whereas like the Evil Bong movies and even the first Gingerdead Man movie kind of feels like it's just people hanging out. That doesn't mean it's good. But like that's like I think I enjoy.
If the best thing you could say about
Yes.
a movie is at least it attempted to have a plot, that's a pretty sad indictment on the film.
Yeah, but I think like on the like tier list or whatever, I think like the second and the third one would be a bit higher than the original for me. But they're all god awful. So
that's Borb's high praise. Of all the movies he's watched with killer gingerbread men, this one wasn't the worst.
Exactly.
I'll point out, I posted this link in the Discord for you guys. Full Moon's website, they're selling the Gingerdead Man movie collection Blu-ray collector's tin for $120. Underneath that, it says pay in 4 interest-free installments of $29.99. Like, Charles Band has payment plans for this bullshit.
Which means someone has Gingerdead Man debt.
Yeah.
That is the saddest thing I've ever heard.
Who is that person? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hey, there's an Evil Bong stash box. Evil Bong 9 Blu-ray stash box goes for $180 or $16.25 a month or 4 interest-free installments. So damn. Oh no. Oh no. Ouija's is part of the Evil Bong box set. Does that mean that that's something we have to watch?
I don't know what Ouija's is. What is that?
It says the discs in it are Evil Bong 2, 3, 420, 5, 666, 777, Gingerdead Man versus Evil Bong, and Ouija's Halloween Night.
Well, yeah, Borp says we got to do everything. So, yeah, I think we're watching Ouija's at some point.
God damn it, Borp.
I hate it here.
You added another movie to this marathon of Evil Bong. I'm very disappointed in you.
You gotta stop doing this.
No.
No.
We'll never stop.
You told us we keep trying. You told us we couldn't.
Yeah. You said you're a completionist and you have to finish everything. All 487 films that Charles Band has put out in his career, they're all numbered, Borb. He numbers all of them.
Cool.
See? He's into it, Steve. Can we end this, please? Thanks, everybody. Hit that like and subscribe, or maybe unsubscribe, because we keep putting this shit out on Outpost Unknown, and it's pulling the quality of our channel way down. But yeah, that's all I got. Bye.